part of the everyday is tidying the home. And when we tidy the home, that basically just means putting everything back to where it belongs, making sure that there is a home for all of the things that you have, and making your space feel reset again. And I love doing this. Of course, it's ideal to do it before you go to bed, but I also like to make sure that, say after breakfast time, after everybody's gotten ready for the day, I like to make sure to have my space, my whole, well, basically the parts of the home that are the community spaces, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen nook area, the kitchen, things like that. I like those spaces to be well kept and just to be tidy. And so when I put the time into doing that, I just feel like I'm not overwhelmed within my own home. And I would say it doesn't take much for me to feel that way. It doesn't take much within my home to feel as if everything is out of place. It can even be chairs not put away properly, or dog toys strewn about the home, or any little thing like that. It can feel like that. So taking a little bit of time every day to get it back to right makes a big difference. And I think that you would find this to be true for yourself as well. So that's not to say that the house can't be lived in. What I'm saying is that making sure that you can comfortably write everything within your home and reset it makes the biggest difference in your overall feel of whether you have control of your home or not. And so that's why I like to make sure to do this early on in the day. I just make sure that everything's put away. Sometimes this is after breakfast, the breakfast dishes are done, the chairs are pushed back in, the toys are all picked up. Our dog toys, she just loves to bring toys all over the place. And also just making sure that whatever is out that doesn't normally belong there, that I take the time to put that away, or I ask and enlist the help of those within my own household if they would put their stuff away as well. So doing this ensures that my house never feels overwhelming. And I think that when we have a space that has been neglected for some time, that it takes hours or days to reset, that's when we feel like we just can't manage our own household. So that's why I would love to encourage you to make this part of your everyday, just tidying up your home. And by the home, I just really mean the common areas as well as the guest bathroom, because hopefully in the morning when you're getting ready, you're taking care of your own bathroom, but especially the guest bathroom when it comes to tidying, making sure that there is a fresh hand towel in there, making sure that, the counters are cleared and cleaned off and the toilet is nice and clean as well. It doesn't take much time to do this, and I actually have something that I like to call the Tidy 10, which I focused on in last month's magazine for the Lady of the House digital magazine, which is called Legacy. I had a whole article about the Tidy 10 and the difference that makes. Just yesterday we had a potluck and we had a house full of people, and so we also have a lot of extra chairs and an extra folding table in here, and that front room that I have has made the biggest difference when it has come to entertaining. We could have everybody in that space. It was just wonderful. But today what I'm going to be focusing on for tidying my home, not only with all the dog toys and that's like my little child now, this little pup on my lap here. She just makes a big mess with her toys, but she loves her toys, and I love that about her. And we just never had any dogs that really played with toys, not like she does. So that's just one of those things that we enjoy so much, but it can also be a source of overwhelm if they aren't picked up. from time to time, and especially daily, I would say. And then just, leave one for her to play with. I have a little basket where, I'll open the lid and let her grab a new toy from time to time. And that's also one of the wonderful things that we can do with kids. And I'm sure you've heard it yourself, but if you have little ones, making sure that you don't have all of their toys out at once makes a big difference, especially when it comes to cleaning up. We sometimes think that, we need to teach our kids to clean up. We, need to do all of this stuff. But what it comes down to is you're really the one that is responsible for making sure that they clean it up. And it just so much of it falls on us, right? So much of it falls on us as mothers to make sure that they're learning how to clean up their toys and that they are cleaning up their toys, just the whole follow through. So what I want to point out there is that it takes from you. It takes your time and your energy. So how much time and energy do you really want to be putting into excessive amounts of toys? Probably not a lot. If you were wise, you wouldn't want to have so much out at once, because you would recognize that it could be very overwhelming for your child as well. And especially if you're struggling with so many toys being out all the time and then playing with something but not having picked something up. So even having a space dedicated to putting some of those toys away for a time, and then just having out what they can comfortably manage. And then maybe each week you cycle through toys, or maybe it's once a month. I don't know, however you as the lady of the house would like to do that. That is entirely up to you. But that's just a suggestion. And I do the same thing for my dog, because she loves her toys, but she doesn't need to use all of them all at once. And if they're all out at once, then it's just a big mess everywhere. And she's not one for picking up her toys either. So that's just one of those gentle suggestions that I would give, is to remember that even though it's your kids' toys, you still have to put in that time and energy to either clean it up yourself if they're too young, or to make sure that they are cleaning it up. But to remember that they can only handle so much, just as much as you can only handle so much. That's why we choose to have only certain things out. That's why I don't have all of my decorations out, for example, because I don't want to deal with all of them all at once. They're good for different times. It gives me something to look forward to just for my eyes to see. But I also don't want to be cleaning those things all at once and all the time. So we put things away and then we bring different things out. It just helps with that newness feeling and just to be excited about it. And I think that goes in the same line of thinking when it comes to toys, when it comes to our animals, when it comes to our children. And so I really hope that that little tidbit helps. So remember that this does not need to take much time at all. Just a quick tidy 10 makes all the difference. Today we're focusing on tidying the house, a simple, ongoing habit that brings so much peace into our home. In the everyday section of the Lady of the House method, tidying is typically done at the beginning of the day, but truly it's something that happens all throughout the day. A little here, a little there. The idea is that whatever space you enter, you leave it better than you found it. Recently, we had some friends over and they asked, "Where did all your stuff go?" That question made me smile. It was after we'd shined the house for listing photos, packing away extras and depersonalizing things to make our home feel more neutral. It did remove some of the warmth and character, I'll admit, but it also made something else clear. Tidying became effortless. You see, when there's simply less out, there's less to put away. My Grammy always said, it's the putting away of all the stuff that takes the time. Cleaning is the easy part. And I have to agree, or at least I used to. That was until I started thinning things out. Now that our home holds fewer things, the time and energy it takes to tidy is so much less. I've added a few things back into our family room. A large plant, some wall art, a few lamps, but these are permanent and don't contribute to daily mess. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with the amount you're tidying each day, consider thinning your things out, even just for a season. You don't have to give everything away. You can simply pack things up and revisit them later. That's okay. Sometimes a break from our things is what gives us clarity about what we truly need. Our homes should serve us, not steal from our time and energy. And it's amazing how much lighter a day can feel when we're not spending so much of it managing stuff. So today, as you go about your tidying, remember this. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start by leaving each room better than you found it. And if you feel called, thin things out and give yourself the gift of less. After having just taken all the chairs out of the front room, and these were actually in the backyard, these are just outdoor chairs that we didn't know if we were going to have people want to sit outside and whatnot. So anyway, after that, I decided I should probably remove the chairs that were in here as well, because the front room in that little corner right by the kitchen, it was completely bare and I don't have anything extra to put there. So I just put those wing-back chairs back where they were, and also the little side table here, I put that in there and just left this like so. The only difference is that I did bring this lamp from downstairs, and I brought the plant that I had in the front room I brought in here, and instead of having that right in front of the sofa here, I just put it to the side, kind of like having a plant for height purposes right over there. Just the layering, I'm kind of bringing back some layers again. And if you will notice, I put the table, the bistro table that I once had in the corner, I put it right in front of the window. So I think that that looks really cute, just something to kind of look out at, and it's just really nice. So anyway, just a little bit of rearranging, and I'll show you the front room, which is no different than how it was. So this is just how I have things arranged right here in the front room. I mean, is it the best? No, but I'm working with what I have right now, and I can't think of anything else that I would put here at the moment. So anyway, that's how I have everything arranged. Everything is set and back in order, which feels good. It feels nice that if somebody were to drop by, I could just invite them in, have them sit down, we can talk for a little bit, and everything isn't all over the place. That's something that always tends to make me feel a little uneasy. So now that everything is back to where it's supposed to be, I feel good. And once Jorge gets home, we will take all of the chairs over to our neighbors.
Welcome to Inspired by Nikki. On today's episode, hedging.